Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andy Ruther, coming to you on this Wednesday evening from Cincinnati. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I've been hit or miss, as you guys know, the last few weeks. My girl, my oldest, Isla, she got hand, foot, mouth last week, so she had to be home from daycare all week long. Had a 2.5-year-old here, so she got it from our 8-month-old Molly. So that's fun. Knew that was going to happen. Welcome to the circle of daycare. It's the circle of daycare. Yeah, what a great system. I mean, how many times am I going to talk about this? What a great system. Our youngest gets hand, foot, mouth from daycare. She has to go home for 3 days. Our oldest then gets hand, foot, mouth from her. So then she gets to stay home from daycare for a full week. And Isla, poor little girl, she had it bad. I'm talking, it wasn't just hand, foot, mouth. It was hand, feet, mouth, arms, thighs, butt, legs. She had these bumps and pocks. It was gnarly. It was gnarly. She had these big white, like sore looking things in her mouth. Like, what, you got leprosy? You bringing back some biblical stuff? What's going on here? But she was a trooper. She didn't really affect her energy. So she was here with me all last week, which was kind of interesting. Like, I haven't had a full week home with her at that age. So it's just like, I got stuff to do. You're going to watch a fair amount of TV. I got work to do. And that's kind of how we played it. And then she took some nice long naps. But yeah, I didn't get to the show last week. And here's the crazy thing, guys. Daycare charges you, at least our daycare, I know a lot of them do this, they charge you when your kid's not there. So you get charged per week. It's truly unbelievable, the scam that these daycares are running. So how they do it at our daycare is you get 1 free week of daycare service a year for vacation. So it's not really free, right? Like, that's how they set it up. That's how they tee it up for you. Like, you get it's not a free week. It's a week when you go on vacation, your kids aren't going to be there. That's how they're like, you get a free week. And it's not free. Taking my kids to Florida, taking my kids to Lake Michigan, wherever you want to go. Like, it's not a free week. My kids aren't there. So we didn't go anywhere this year. We've kind of taken a stance of like, we're not really going to do any major vacations until they're a little older, because who wants to be lugging around? Like, the 2.5-year-old would be fun. I'm not lugging around an 8-month-old. I'm not lugging around a baby. It's just, I'm not. I mean, kudos to people who can do it. We're not doing it. I'm just like, I'm not taking that whole situation of the baby, of the bottles, of the naps, of all that shit. I'm not taking that to Hilton Head, South Carolina. I'm just not, for a week. I'm not taking that to Florida for a week. I'm not doing it. It's not a vacation if you're still doing that. So anyway, we're not doing a vacation this year. So I said to our daycare director, I said, look, Isla's going to be gone all week. Can you just not charge her? You already charged us because you charge us every Tuesday. But for the next week, can you not charge her? She's like, now, normally you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to get a full free sick week. But since you guys aren't going on vacation, I can backdate it. They don't have to know about it. The system doesn't have to know about it. And yeah. I love it. It was like she's throwing me dude, my kid wasn't here for a full week because of a virus she got from this daycare. Like, stop acting like you're throwing me a bone here. So she didn't get charged this week, which is like, cool. She wasn't there last week. We had daddy daycare. So which was good. Working on the potty training. She was very good as far as pooping, always letting me know. She like wants me to get all up in the poop, which I find very bizarre. Asked my brother, asked my friend the other day when we were hanging out. I was like, when you were potty training your kids, were your kids like, look at it? They're like, no, no, our kids didn't do that. It's not just like she wants you in. Isla wants you like in the toilet. She's like, come look at it, Dad. Come look at it. It's not just like look. It's like she literally is like trying to shove my face or Brittany's face in the toilet. Like, come look at my poop, Daddy. And then last week, since Brittany would be at work, she'd be like, let's call mommy. Let's let her know. I was like, no, she's good. She's good, fam. She's cool. She doesn't need to be disturbed at work to let you don't need to let her know you dropped the dookie. It's good, it's great. You're learning these things. It's growth for you as a human being, but we don't need to do this. We don't need to FaceTime, the turds. It's just unnecessary. Take your M&Ms. You get your M&Ms every time you use the potty, and be happy. So that's what I was doing last week. I was with the 2.5. It was nice though. I'll look back at it and be like, remember that time you had hand, foot, mouth? Thank God we didn't get it, because adults can get this shit. Didn't know. You learn so much. And we were worried that Molly was going to get it again. It was going to come back again because, those two are pretty much inseparable, two little girls. So it's good though. It's good that it's through. It's through the fam till the next thing arises. And here we are. I had a nice weekend before that. I had my 25th high school reunion. Crazy, man. I'm old. Look at all these gray. Look at all this gray in my beard. That's gray in my hair. That's receding hairline. I'm old. Graduated class of 2000 from St. Xavier High School. So I'm old, man. It was nice though. It was nice. We had 3 different events. I couldn't make the last one because it's when Isla started getting hand, foot, mouth, and we just we weren't going to deal with that because we had 2 kids that kind of had it at that point. But anyway, there's 3 events. There was a golf outing on Friday. There was the Friday night football game against one of our rivals, Elder, and then there was a couples thing the next night, which again I missed. But it was cool, man. I don't know, man. I have a different experience. I went to an all boy Catholic high school, which are big here in Cincinnati. So it's a little different, but I want to say our class was like 320. So it's a pretty big school for boys. There's like 1,200 kids there at the time. But yeah, it was a class of 320. I think we had 70 kids sign up in total for our classmates. 61 for the night of football and drinks and food and all that. But it was good, man. It was, I don't know. It's like it's interesting for me because I didn't live here for so long, right? So I had some feelings at the end of the weekend. I was telling Brittany, like, I'll be real with you guys. I was like, I don't have any friends. It's kind of depressing because I was out in the West Coast between Las Vegas and Los Angeles for 15 years. Right. And then even college, I was, not that I was far away, but I was in St. Louis. So I was 5.5 hours away. It's like, I basically hadn't lived in Cincinnati full time since the year 2000, since high school. So when I moved back at the end of 2020, it's like I hadn't lived in Cincinnati full time for 20 years. So you lose a lot of those friendships, man. You lose a lot of those connections. Now I had a small circle, and you keep that, and then you build new friends, and you know how it works. But it's like I lost a lot of that. So I was actually really looking forward to the reunion. I was on the committee. There was 10 of us, but I was looking forward to that. And it's, as you get older, you like start reflecting on your life and the accomplishments and the stuff you didn't do. And I'm like going down all these rabbit holes in my head. You're seeing guys, you're thinking all the memories, and I don't know. I had a moment with Brittany, and I was like, I want to reconnect with these guys. Obviously, this is the start, but I was like, I want to rebuild some of these friendships with some of these guys. And it's not easy because they have families. I am a newer dad with a young family, all those things, and it was all kind of going through my head. But it was a fun weekend. We had a golf outing Friday morning. Our tee time was like 9 a.m. And I'm terrible at golf, right? It's just 18 hole. Eight. Can we reduce it? I've said this enough. Can we reduce it to 12? That's why I'll never get into 18 holes is just too much, man. It's just too much for me. It takes too long. We're in foursomes and I forget what we were playing. Scramble play. I wasn't even paying attention. I don't even know what we were doing. Maybe it wasn't even scramble because they kept calling me out saying, Ruther, that's not what we're playing. I don't know. I got stoned. I got pretty baked, truth be told. I was like, I'm away from the kids. I don't really get to do this. I got a full day. The round of 18 probably took us because then you take a break after 9. We got some lunch back at the clubhouse. It's about a 5-hour golf outing. So I just said, I'm going to go hard. Brought some THC drinks, brought some edibles. And I'm a lightweight. I don't do it that much. I said this. I don't do it that much. I'm an old man. I'm damn near 44 years old with 2 young kids. So I went hard for me. I was cracking open a 10 milligram THC drink. A whole one. Had a 2.5 milligram edible with it, a little mint. So I was like 12 milligrams deep, which is a lot. I know you guys will laugh. That's a lot for me. 5 milligrams does me good. So I got pretty baked. I was pretty stoned. And also I knew it was a long day and I'd be stoned for a couple hours that it's I got to get it out of my system so I can drive to go pick up the girls from daycare, right? Can't be messing around with that. So that's also the benefit of that. It's I can get pretty baked. I'm ingesting it through liquid form. It's going to hit me quick. I'll be pretty stoned for 2-3 hours and then have a couple hours to decompress. But I got pretty baked, guys. I got pretty baked. I got so baked, I left my driver at hole 9 or hole 8 or something. I just left it. I forgot my driver. Straight up forgot it. Yeah. How do you do that? I don't know. We went to the next hole and I went to tee up and I go, my driver's not here. The guy I was riding with in the cart, one of my classmates, is like, what do you mean your driver's not here? I said, it's not here. He goes, dude, then drive back. You left it at last hole. I said, no, I'm good, fam. I'm cool. Nah. He's like, what do you mean, nah? I don't need it. I just said, fuck it. The rest of the day, I used my 3-wood, or I don't even know what I was doing, guys. That's how much I didn't care. I was again, golf. I was like, by that hole, I was like, I just don't care. I just don't care enough, man. I'm stoned. It was a beautiful sunny Friday. It was perfect. It was 75 degrees. It had just that nice feel. It had rained. The course was just sloppy wet because it had rained so much the week. But this day was immaculate. And just the sun was hitting my arms and I was feeling it. And I had that feeling, that golden crisp feeling when you're nice and stoned. And I was like, no, I'm not driving back, man. I don't care. They were like, you're just going to leave your driver. I go, yeah, man, I'm just going to leave it. Don't care. And I just left it. Didn't even care. I said, I don't golf that much. I'll get a new driver. Later that night at the football game, one of my buddies was like, hey, man, I got your driver. I was like, you do? He's like, yeah, I picked it up. They said Ruther got all stoned and just said he didn't care about his driver. He's like, I actually used it. It's pretty good. It did me well. I used it for a couple holes. I bet you of the 18 holes, I probably played 12 or 13. Just exactly what I'm saying. 12 or 13's I just no, I'm good, man. I'm stoned. I'm just gonna ride around in the cart. I'll be the passenger. I'm good. I can't. I'm just taking it all in. I don't got the energy for this, man. I don't get it, guys. And obviously I'm a sports guy. I just don't get 18 is so much. It's your whole day. Like I just get bored. Some of these dudes were playing so serious as you can imagine. And that's the thing. Like it's a nice good feeling when you got the THC in you and you're feeling good. And some of these guys are just slamming beers. Just slamming beers. And I'm like, see, that's the difference. Again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this. That's the difference between those drugs. Like by the time I'm done, and especially afterwards, I'm hobnobbing with some of my former classmates. It's like I'm good to go drive. I'm good to get in the car. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm not stoned anymore. Like, what about those guys? Those guys have been drinking 18. Like, those guys got to be, those guys are just like a DUI waiting to happen at 3 in the afternoon, picking their kids up from school, picking their kids up from daycare. That's why I'm so annoyed. Our governor, Ohio's governor, issued some like executive order today on THC drinks. What did he do? What did he do? What did this asshole do? He signs order banning sale of intoxicating hemp products, often called Delta 8. The order will take effect October 14th. So marijuana is legal here, guys. Like there's dispensaries, everything. But basically the 90-day order is targeting intoxicating hemp products that are labeled Delta 8 because state officials have seen a rise in exposures of young children, seeing the products intentionally mimic popular candy to make them enticing to children. So basically, like if you go to a microbrewery as well, which has become popular here, you can't get like a THC drink now when you could. The very drinks I'm talking about, which is ridiculous. Like bro, they voted on it. They voted on it. Sorry, you lose. We overwhelmingly passed this in, what was it? 2024, 2023, whenever it was. It's like we voted on it. We decided 2023. It was November 2023. It was a ballot measure for the state of Ohio. Overwhelmingly passed. Here's my thing on the marijuana. It's an uphill battle. You guys are going to lose. You're going to lose. Everything is trending towards states legalizing cannabis, legalizing THC. It's just trending that way. I believe 24 states now have it. Could be wrong. I believe it's 24 states have legalized it, cannabis. It's almost half our country. It's going to federally be legalized here in the next 10, 15 years. It will, if not sooner. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And again, like I'm using an anecdotal story, but it's true. It's like these guys are drinking far worse, boozing all day on the golf course, and then they're going to hop in their car. Whereas I had a drink in the morning, one fucking drink, one little 2 milligram tablet as well. I have that. That's done by 10 a.m. By the time I leave at 3 p.m., I'm good, dude. I'm cool. Not the guys who've had 66 beers and 18 holes. This stuff just, I don't know. It's just, sorry to get sidetracked. It just infuriates me. It's like, it's so ridiculous. I can't stand it. It's so ridiculous. You're worried about kids? Then watch your kids. Watch your kids, man. Handle your kids. You know, I'm more libertarian, but just handle your kids. I think people should be able to do what they want. Handle your kids. Maybe don't put THC products out. Maybe don't put them where they're accessible for kids. That's on the parents. Anyway, the reunion was fun. It was nice. It was nice. It was good. Like I said, it was nice to see everybody. And I don't know though, man. It not just the whole friend thing. It just made me feel like I was just like overanalyzing my life by Saturday night. I just kept thinking about dudes I hadn't seen forever. People don't change though. That's what's crazy. That's what I realized. Like you at your core, you really don't change. That's what I found fascinating. from a 25th reunion, right? That's a good amount of years, 25 years. More than half my life, 25 years. And it's interesting seeing guys and you're like, "You haven't changed at all." And they probably said the same thing about me, right? It's like, "You haven't changed at all." And I don't know, it's just and physically, it's interesting to see, how some guys are, and I'll say this about my class. Dudes really have not let themselves go to shit. They really haven't. I was like, "Yo, dudes they've kept it pretty good. They've kept it together. Looks like dudes are working out. Dudes are eating all right." I don't know. It was just it was a fun night. It was good and, just a fun day, it's good to see everybody. I still don't have my driver though. I didn't get it back from my buddy. He's like, "It's in my car." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like walking out there from the, football game to get it afterwards. You can just keep it for a while. Keep it. I don't do what you want with it. I don't care." It's again, at golf, there's too many holes. I don't know what it is, why people like it so much. I don't know. Is it a work thing? Is it a buddy thing? Is it because it's so difficult? Like what is such the allure of golf that you can play it solo, you can play it with people. I don't know. Again, 12, can we start a new golf league? Can we start a 12-person golf league? Can the Live do that? Can they do a 12-person golf league? I'm sorry, 12 hole. I keep saying 12 person. That'd be way too many people. A 12-hole golf league, can we do that? Can Live do that? Can the Saudis do that? They're doing everything else. They're doing comedy festivals now. A lot of controversy on this, huh? A lot of people talking about it. The Riyadh Comedy Festival, which just ended. All these big names and performing in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people mad. A lot of people calling comedians hypocrites. Getting paid some serious coin from the Saudi royal family. Some serious coin. A lot of big names. Everybody from Bill Burr to Dave Chappelle to Louis C.K. to Whitney Cummings, Pete Davidson, Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias. I'm missing a lot of names. A lot of big names, though. Tom Segura, Andrew Schultz, Andrew Santino. A lot of big names. Chris Tucker. Everyone's all heated. A lot of people are heated about this. I find it interesting as a guy who was in the comedy world for a while. So it's like I'm like an outsider looking in. I'm kind of just like a voyeur watching the scene when this stuff plays out. I don't know. I found it interesting that people get mad. Well, first of all, there were comedians themselves who wrote things that they were very disgusted and how awful it is from Mark Maron to David Cross and people who said things again or wrote things. And it's like when it comes to comedians, first of all, I'll say this: don't look to comedians as your moral guide. As somebody who was in that world for a while, don't look to comedians. Just don't look to us. I mean, I don't really consider myself one anymore. I don't know what I am, but don't look to comedians. I know what I was up to when I was in that world, partying. We're talking about binge drinking, womanizing. And that's minor. I'm just saying, these are the type of people that comedians are. I'm just saying, don't look to comedians like we should be held to a high level. Comedians should be held to a high moral authority. Are we really surprised comedians are taking these gigs for serious payday? I mean, serious payday. Supposedly some of the big name acts, which I assume would be like a Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Bill Burr, were getting up to $1.5 million for a show. $1.5 million. It's a lot of money for one show. And I saw what David Cross said, and it's like, how many houses, basically, to sum it up, it's like, how many more material possessions do you need? Houses, cars, and whatever it is, shoes. Apparently people need more. Dude, it's a lot of money. Does Saudi Arabia have a terrible absolutely awful track record of human rights violations. Long list. It's a laundry list. You're going shopping with that list. That's a grocery shopping list of human rights violations from women to the gay community to, I mean, you name it all. They murdered that journalist. But one and a half million is a lot of money for a show. I'm just saying. Like everybody, here's the thing. I think everybody has a number. And maybe some people don't. Maybe some people are better. Maybe they are. I don't think I am. I'm just going to be real with you guys. I don't think I am. Have you seen the cost of daycare? I don't think I am. I don't want to send my kids to daycare. I don't want them getting hand, foot, mouth. I want an at-home nanny. Do the Saudis, do they need anybody to perform? I haven't performed in years. Do they need an opening act? I think everyone's outrage, was basically that people are hypocrites. In that a lot of these guys, they say, talk about free speech, where we know Saudi Arabia, free speech is not a thing. It's just not a thing. And also the writers that were, the contracts that they had, there were certain things they couldn't say. Which, by the way, just so you know, that's common on a lot of comedian gigs. That's common on a lot of gigs, right? Now, not to this degree, not to like you're going to get beheaded or lose your hand or they're going to rip out your tongue and slice it out. Not to that degree. But I'm just saying, like, I used to do college shows. I used to have to sign those contracts. Sometimes it had to be a clean show, which was always a struggle for me. Like, comedians have to sign these things sometimes, right? Now, the argument would be, oh, that's in America. It's more free. I get that. That's totally perfectly good argument. But again, like we're like comedians are the moral authority. The hypocrisy. I see the angle too. I can see it. I can see it. I can see the angle why people are, are mad. That's my thing with these comics. Just say you did it for the money. Just be upfront. Tim Dillon did that, and he ended up getting kicked off. Tim Dillon on his podcast said they were going to pay him $375,000 for a show. He had no problem doing that. He had no problem doing that. He's like, look, I understand they built their country on slaves, on slave labor. And they ended up kicking him off because he said that, which was really funny, by the way. Great bit. He's done great bits on this. I'm big into his show right now. I think he's absolutely amazing, and I'm really big into his podcast. He's been my go-to. Tim Dillon's been my go-to. Love the guy. I think he's brilliant, funny, insightful, smart, the whole 9 yards. But he had a great bit on it. He had a great bit on it. It's like, I'll take the money. That's basically what I'm saying to you guys. Like, dude, I'll take the money. Like, I will. Sorry. Does that make me a bad person? I don't know. Also, there are comics who have not weighed in on politics, who have not weighed in on social issues ever. Are they hypocrites? Right? Has Gabriel Iglesias, I don't follow his act. I mean, he's called Fluffy. I doubt he's doing some like highbrow political jokes. I highly doubt that. Has he weighed in on political issues? Probably not. Like, is it bad if you're a comic who just wants to tell jokes, right? You just want to make people laugh. Is it bad if you took that gig? I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. People went hard at Bill Burr. They went hard at him. And look, again, I understand. He's been on this big kick. By the way, I'm a huge Bill Burr fan as well. I've been a Bill Burr fan for basically since Chappelle's show, damn near 25 years. I think he's great. He's one of my favorite comics of all time. And Burr keeps getting bounced around. They think he's like a right-wing guy. He's a left-wing. I'm like, he's just a comedian. He says things. He's funny. One side's mad at him, then another side's mad at him. Again, I have liked Bill Burr forever. It doesn't mean I have to always agree with every point he makes, but I think he's a brilliant comic. I understand, though, if people are going to bitch about, hey, man, You've been on a kick lately about billionaires, nonstop with the billionaires, whether it's the healthcare CEO who was murdered by Luigi Mangione or Elon Musk. He's been on a big anti-billionaire kick. And then he just takes a huge payday from billionaires in Saudi Arabia. There is hypocrisy there, Bill. There is irony. Again, I don't really care. It's not going to bother me. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to stop following Bill Burr, stop watching Bill Burr's special. I think Bill Burr's great. I think he's brilliant. I think he's funny. Always made me laugh. But he has to see that. Bill Burr has to understand that, right? Like you have to see, hey man, you're bitching about this stuff and then you go take the gig. Like you have to see the irony there, right? Now, also, I understand a point that I think he made on Conan's show, or I've seen other comics who perform there said, look, man, this might open it up to make them be more free or give more rights. And the other side's going to say, no, you're just whitewashing everything. Everybody's got an opinion on it. Everybody's got a strong opinion on it. And maybe everybody's right. That's dude, my thing on all this is like, again, I don't think it's just black and white. It's not, it's gray. It's like my hoodie. It's like the hoodie I'm wearing. It's gray. But I also think, as a guy who was in the comedy world, there's a lot of jealousy. There's so much jealousy in the comedy world. There's so much jealousy, I think, in the entertainment industry in general. But there's so much jealousy. And a lot of these guys bitching weren't asked to go. Plain and simple. Sorry, man, you weren't asked to go. Because when you see a fat contract with a check for that much, you're going to think about it. I don't care who you are. You're going to think about it. $1.5 million to perform one show? Dude, send me to North Korea. 1.5, like, here's my thing. Here's what I would ask some of those people who are mad, who are writing the blogs or hopping on threads, hopping on Twitter, all irate. This is what I would ask them. If they didn't do the show, or if the Riyadh Comedy Festival didn't exist, does anything change versus it? Like, that's my point. Like, does anything change? So, like, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Sorry, like, it's the Middle East, man. Like, they're stuck in the fucking dark ages. That's the truth. They're stuck in the dark ages. And if we went down this, we could pinpoint hypocrisy on all levels for all of us. I've screamed it for years. We're all hypocrites. In some form, we're all hypocrites. We are. Just accept it and move on. We're all hypocrites to some degree. We are. But I don't need to read your think piece. I don't need to read your Guardian article about how bad these comedians are. Yeah, did some of them rant and rave about cancel culture and free speech and then they could do this? Yeah, and it's like, sure. I mean, there's a curiosity there though. Like I have a curiosity. I have a curiosity about what is it's a human nature, especially if you're a comedian. Like what's it like in Saudi Arabia? Now the argument would say, well, you're not getting the real experience, which is true. You're not getting a real Saudi experience. You're getting put up by a royal multi-billionaire family. The royals. You're getting the finest of the finest treatment. I get that. But that's their move, right, guys? That's why they did Live Golf. That's why they poached Ronaldo. Isn't he playing over there? That's the Saudis' move right now. They're just going to throw boatloads of money, whether it's athletes or comedians or whatever, and do this stuff. Now, again, I understand people calling out. I know there was a line. I know they brought back an old thing Bill Burr said from a podcast in like 2010, mocking Beyonce for doing a show. This is from his podcast, January 7th, 2010, when Beyonce did a show for Muammar Gaddafi's son, like a private show. Then you got, this is what he said. Then you got Beyonce, right? Miss Independent, Miss I'm a strong woman, empowering all the ladies out there. So she's out there singing about girl power, telling you to put a ring on it, all that crap. And then what she do? She makes $1 million to sing a private party for Gaddafi's kid, Muammar Gaddafi. You know, the guy who's been blowing stuff up and running a dictatorship forever? Like, what the hell? You're going to jet off to St. Bart's, shake your ass for some terrorist dictator's family, pocket $1 million, and then go back to preaching about empowerment? Come on. That's the hypocrisy of the whole thing. These celebrities, they'll take a gig if the check's big enough. It's like, oh, I'm all about the people until some crazy dictator waves a stack of cash, and then it's, where's my private jet? It's ridiculous. Okay, fair enough. You know, and he was right. You know, that's why but, and they could say, look, that's what you're doing now. You bitch about billionaires and you took a billionaire's check. Like, and that's a fair point. It is. It's a fair point. And look, but that's my thing. Everyone has a price, man. We do. That's why my stance is, don't try to take these moral authorities, these moral high grounds, these like moral stances, because it's going to come back to bite you. And all these celebrities do it. They all do it. They all like. There's nothing more insufferable than a celebrity trying to take some sort of moral stance. There's nothing more insufferable to me. We all have a price. And mine is just $300 to cover one girl daycare for the week. Yeah, I can't wait for the next comedy festival in Pyongyang. How do you pronounce it? What's the capital of North Korea? Pyongyang? I know I'm butchering that. Baghdad, the Baghdad Comedy Festival? Is that one next? But the Tehran. Is that how they say it? Tehran? The Tehran Comedy Festival? I don't know, guys. Just get paid. I don't know. Are you a bad person? Like, again, you start thinking about this and you're like, you go down the rabbit hole. Like, am I a bad person for taking this money from this or whatever it is? I mean, I guess there's stages, there's levels. There's levels to this stuff. I don't know. I just know I'm not figuring it out. And I'd get paid. That's all I'm saying. I'd get paid and I'd be upfront. Like, yeah, I'm taking the money. I'm not, yeah, they're terrible people. But again, daycare is not cheap. So we had a nice little, and it wasn't even me, it was more Brittany. Interesting little conversation with Gay Greg today. I know you guys like the updates about my closeted homosexual neighbor, Gay Greg, who's 70. It never gets old to me. Just, I'm like, bro, everybody knows. Like, and he does, and again, he does things that are just the definition of projection. Everything he does is project. Every single thing. I'm like, dude. Today, I was overhearing it because I was with Isla and he was talking to Brittany. And again, he's walking his dog and it's the same thing. And one of my neighbors she was going for a walk and she was talking to me and Isla was showing her a little toy and it was being nice. And anyway, she walked away and Brittany was like, "Who's that? I don't know. I don't know that person." And Greg's like, "Oh, she's the one with the pride flag." And Brittany's like, I don't know her. And he goes, "What do you call it? What do you call?" He's like, "She's gay. She's lesbian." So he's like, you know, she's got the, what do they call it? The pride flag or whatever it is. No, he didn't know what it was called. He's like, "What is it called? What is it called? She's gay. The rainbows. She's on the house over there. What's it called? The one with the rainbows." I'm like, dude, again, I'm off with eye. I'm thinking, like, you don't know, dude. You don't know. Dude, I worked on a gay radio show. You're the gayest dude I've ever met. You're literally the gayest dude. You don't know what it's called. The rainbow flag. You don't know. And Brittany's like, it's a pride flag. And he goes, why do they need that? Again, here's like the over projection. He's like, why? He goes, I don't care what your sexuality is. Why are they gonna shove it in people's faces? Why do they need that? You don't need that. I don't have to know whether you're gay or straight. And then he goes, I don't have a flag with a giant dick hanging off it. That's literally what he said, guys. It's literally what he said. He goes, I don't need a flag with a giant dick hanging off it. And I'm thinking, actually, that would kind of show that you were gay. If you had a flag with a giant dick, that would show that you like dick, Greg. I'm thinking this in my head. Thinking it. Maybe I should have said it. Not really. 2.5-year-old there, which again, she's off to the corner. I hope she's not hearing any of this because this is ridiculous for her to hear all this. Definitely not appropriate. I don't have a flag with a giant. It's like, no, Greg, if you were straight, you'd have a flag with a giant set of titties or something. like, like, like if you were straight, you wouldn't have a flag of a giant dick. That doesn't make any sense. In fact, if you were gay, you might want a flag of a giant dick. So therefore, you are also proving my point. You are a closeted homosexual man. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. He just says these things, and it's like, bro. At that point, I was on the ground helping Isla. So I looked over at Brittany, and it's just like, what is he doing? She just smiled at me. It's like, come on, man. And then he's going on some rant about, oh, we just had our windows cleaned. And again, it's always with him naked. And he's like, oh my God, his wife, he's like, she gets so sick of me running into the other room naked. The windows are there, and they're cleaning it. And she's like, they're going to see you naked. And he's like, well, she's got too many clothes in our walk-in closet. I got to go use the other bedroom's closet for my clothes. And I'm always thinking like, why are we here? Why are we here? You're 7 years old. You're talking about running around naked to Brittany, to my family. I got a 2.5-year-old in the perimeter. Like, what are we doing, dude? Are you trying to have us get visuals of you running around your house with your old saggy balls naked? How did we go from I got my windows clean to I'm running around my house naked? And the men cleaning might see me. They might see me. They might just see me hanging around with my old 70-year-old old balls and saggy nuts just hanging. They might see me and oh my God, I'd look at them and go, look at that house down the street with their pride flag. Talking about sexuality. I don't need to know about that. I'm 100% a straight man. Even though I talk like this. When am I going to get the courage just to be like, yo, man, I know you're gay? The whole neighborhood, like literally the whole neighborhood knows. It's cool, man. It's 2025. For the most part, people are cool with it. You might have some people who have issues with it, but for the most part, we're all cool with it. It's a thing. It's real. It's cool, man. Give me a hug. Just come out already. Come on, bro. You can do it. Like, when am I going to get the balls just to say that? When am I going to do that? Like, come on, Greg. You can do it. Just come out of the closet already. Come on, man. I used to work for Lance Bass. It's cool. It's cool. I'll give you a hug, bro. Maybe I'll get Lance to do a cameo for you. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Come on. Oh, I don't need to know your sexuality. Oh, he's ridiculous. So I have decided to give up sweets for the month of October. I joked about it on the podcast. I ended up posting it on Twitter. I think on Threads too. I've decided my plan. I'm going to do it, guys. I've given up all sweets. What, day 8? Like, no sweets, no candy, none of that stuff. Stuff I like, none of it. And then on Halloween, I'm going to get really baked and eat all of Isla's Halloween candy. Yeah. True story. True story. A lot of people are doing sober October. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't need to do that. But yeah, I'm going to give up sweets the whole month. And then come Halloween night, it's a Friday, couldn't be a better time. Get nice and baked and go ham on my daughter's Halloween candy. It seems like the right thing to do. It seems like the right thing to do. In my head, I'm like, this is the move. Have a healthy month, no sweets, no candy. End it by crushing your kid's candy because she doesn't eat a lot anyway. You know, you don't need to be giving her all that. She's 2 years old. Okay, we got a hotline here on the Andy Ruther Show. Let's pull that bad boy up on the screen. 859-935-0078. Once again, that will always be in the description. 859-935-0078. All right, guys, that is the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you feel inclined, subscribe. Where podcasts are available. Subscribe on YouTube. I'll be here. We'll get this thing out. Let's hope the kids stay healthy so I can just keep banging these out weekly. I enjoy it. You guys are much appreciated. All right, guys, have a great night. Peace.